and instead, we will take care of a bit of business. The first piece of business is that we have arranged the chief judge and contest chair for the for the Tall Tales contest. It will happen, inshallah, next week. And today, you'll also receive an education session on what Tall Tales is all about. And that is why, uh, so it's all set, inshallah. And in exactly 1 week's time, we'll inshallah have a Tall Tales contest. That's number one. Number two, the last meeting, it was a hybrid meeting. It had a record number of guests. And yeah, so the best speaker went to Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali, best evaluator, Toastmaster Fahim Razak, best table topic speaker, Toastmaster Tehseen Fatma, best Big Four, Toastmaster Arfa Fahim, and best facilitator went to Toastmaster Muhammad Asif for the listener book. So without further ado, we'll jump straight into the meeting. And today, of course, I'm also the Toastmaster of the day. One order of businesses that we have Toastmaster Faisal Hadi speaking first, and he will be evaluated by Toastmaster Arfa. So I hope, okay, we have only four paid members in the meeting. So I hope no member has objection to that change to the agenda.
No worries at all. We are okay with your decision, Mr. President,
Okay.
acting president for today's meeting.
Acting president. I'm the acting president. So, first of all, and also I'd like to convey a message from Toastmaster Shahzad Iqbal on behalf of him. Actually, he's been facing a tough work schedule over the past few weeks. So, he's stuck in office for late hours and is not able to attend the meetings. But he's very much there otherwise. So, thank you, Toastmaster Shahzad Iqbal, for being there for us despite your difficult schedule. And today, the topic is, of course, the elephant in the room, or rather, the elephant on the planet, which is global warming. Now, why is this suddenly so important? It is important because yesterday there was a news item, and that news item said that United Nations, head of United Nations, has said that we have failed to meet the global warming target, and the planet will now heat up by at least 1.5 degrees in the next few years. Now, 1.5 degrees is not that much of a jump other mathematically, but 1.5 degrees is the difference between rising of sea levels and sea levels staying the same, more droughts and more torrential rains, further drying up and heating of the Middle East and Levant region, especially the region where Hajj and Umrah are performed. And it is a difference between Pakistan's glacier melting and not melting, Antarctica's glaciers melting and not melting. So by any reasonable measure, this is a catastrophic change which has been confirmed to happen over the next few years. And I invite you to think about Okay, sorry. So I was having a conversation with the area director. She wanted to give me tea. So sorry. And yeah, a bit of global warming also took place, right? Anyhow, so think about the temperature in Karachi. Let's say temperature is 35 degrees. Now imagine it rises to 36.5 degrees and it stays there for many, many, many days. Slowly and gradually, we will start to feel the effects because even a minor increase in temperatures affects our health, our well-being, our ability to actually uh, compete with the weather. And yes, of course, very rightly said, heat waves, and other phenomena. So we'll continue with that theme, but let's introduce the role players for today. Today, our grammarian is Toastmaster Wase Ahmed. Toastmaster Wase, if you've thought of a word of the day, please also introduce that and also introduce your role.
Good evening, everyone. No, I haven't come with word of the day yet. I'll post it in the chat box. In the
Sure.
meanwhile, my role as a grammarian would be to note the good usage and a not so good usage of grammar and to give my report at the end of the meeting. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We have our R counter of the day, who is none other than Toastmaster Tehseen Fatma. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, dearest Toastmasters. I will be keeping a very sharp eye on the filler words which you will be using. It's so. So please use as much as you can so I can present a best report of the day.
Great, great. And of course, how can we proceed without inviting our resident joke master, who is also the listener for today? So first, Toastmaster Hiba, describe your role as listener and then deliver some jokes for us. Toast, there you go.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, as the listener, I would be making note of all the interesting words and phrases spoken by the speaker during the prepared speech and the table topic session. And I would be highlighting who spoke what, and the audience will have to guess it without me telling the name. And
Great.
as for the jokes, I wasn't ready, but I have one. What do you call three holes in the ground? What do you call three holes in the ground? Well, well, well. And one more. Uh, Sorry. Why was the phone wearing glasses? Why was the phone wearing glasses? Because he lost all his contacts. Thank you.
Great, great. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hiba Reis Khan. As a person who otherwise wears glasses, and uh, Toastmaster Asghar, Toastmaster Tehseen, we all take very strong offense at this joke. It is uh, elitist. It is I don't know uh, what do you call it. It is like a discrimination against people who wear glasses. Anyhow, so moving on, we have our first speech of the day. He is one of our returning members, Toastmaster Faisal Hadi, and he'll be delivering a speech from the Path Presentation Mastery, the second project. So, Toastmaster Arfa, can you please introduce the project?
Yes, thank you. So, Toastmaster Faisal will be presenting his speech from the Presentation Mastery Pathway in Level 1 Project Writing a Speech with Purpose. And the title of his speech is Traffic Pollution in Karachi. Back to you, Toastmaster Faisal.
First of all, apologies from my side because I'm on the way home. Can you please hear me?
Yes, we
Hello,
yes, you are
am I
audible.
audible? Uh,
Yes, you are.
Thank you all for giving me the opportunity to speak. Uh, my topic, as you have been informed, that my topic is the noise pollution and the traffic problems in the Karachi. Surprisingly, I'm suffering traveling from my office to home. Would like to inform that I'm currently facing the same situation or the same problem which I will discussing during my speech. The problems I am facing right now. I'm traveling uh, from my office. I've seen that the number of vehicles being used in which are out of service, which are not up to the mark in their standards, because they are emitting the gases which are affecting the environment as well. There are many reasons because due to which the pollution is rising in the city, Karachi especially, the Lahore. As you all we all are aware of the fact that the AQI levels of in the Karachi is the worst, the second number in the whole world. First of all, the Lahore is on the top of this pollution, and the AQI level is the worst in the country in the whole world. Nevertheless, we are not facing the pollution; we are facing the health issues as well. We are facing the various type of disease, lung issues, and the depression because due to the hectic traveling and various factors, we are suffering from this pollution and the traffic jam in the city. Unfortunately, we do not have the any master plan or the alternative plan to handle the situation by any government agency. Uh, Coming back to my topic, the noise pollution, the traffic issues is 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 the main feature of every big city. Like we can refer to the New York, we can refer to the London and the Mumbai. But all of these cities have more or less some master plan to tackle this situation. But unfortunately, our system or our government agencies have no master plan, no alternative plan to tackle all this situation. Um, I think there should be some suggestions, some issue, some solution to all these problems. Um, but what we have is that the the traffic issues with growing vehicles and the outdated vehicles is increasing day by day. Um, we are all suffering from all these problems day by day. We are facing it, and with no solution and no immediate steps being taken by any government. That's all from me. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Faisal. And with that, we move on to the education session on tall tales. And I advise Toastmaster Faisal you remain logged in and at least listen to the session. So, since I'm the Toastmaster of the day, I also get to introduce the session. So, welcome a legendary speaker called Talha bin Hamid, and he will be delivering an education session on the Tall Tales contest. So, you would be seeing that in many clubs, Tall Tales contests have started to happen, and inshallah, we will have ours next week. So, you should listen very closely, and since this will focus on the judges' ballot for tall tales, but it will also be equally useful for uh, contestants, because after all, contestants are there to score highly on the judges' ballot. So I will start the timing right now. It's a 10 to 15 minute session. Everyone, please listen very closely. We want maximum participation in the next week Tall Tales contest. And even if you feel you're not prepared, even if you feel that you would do badly, please come to the contest and participate in it. Because in Toastmasters, the real reward comes from participation. A bit of good news for you, two of our great speakers, Toastmaster Vase and uh, Toastmaster Kareem Meghani, are not eligible to participate this year because they're district leaders. And Toastmaster Tehseen will not be participating from KTC. Another bit of good news. So I've stated so many reasons for you to, and of course, those DTM Sarfraz Naseer may choose to participate, but I think currently he's also serving as a district leader. So that, correct me if I'm wrong. So that narrows the field quite a bit. But Let me also remind you of the presence of people like Toastmaster Fahim Razak, Toastmaster Sila Hamid, who did amazingly well in last year's Tall Tale, Toastmaster Hiba Reis Khan, whose main, if you think about contests, she is the strongest in Tall Tales. So, ladies and gentlemen, and Toastmaster Asghar is always there as a threat. So, of course, you should be mindful of all these. And yes, so now let's start the training session in earnest. It will be a 10 to 15-minute training session. So first of all, what is Tall Tales? Oh yes, DJ Sarfraz. Amen. You are area director, so you cannot participate. Tall Tales is a 3 to 5 minute speech, and it should have two attributes. The first is exaggeration, and the second is that it should be a story. It's right there in the title. Tall tales. Focus on these two words. Tall means exaggerated, unrealistic, hyperbolic, and tale means story. If your story is not a story, it is in fact a collection of random events or thoughts. It does not qualify as a tall tale. And even by some miracle, judges rate you highly and you place on the podium, you will forever live with the stigma that your tale was not a tall tale. So choose temporary glory or choose permanent place in the hearts of Toastmasters. That is your calling. Another very important attribute that a tall tale should have is humor. As we look at the ballot, you will note that humor is one thing without which tall tales are not complete. One more aspect that I would like to highlight here is that unlike every other contest, whether it is the provisional speech contest, the Urdu speech contest, the table topics contest, or the evaluation contest, no matter which contest you choose, it is part of the Toastmasters curriculum. But Tall Tales is actually not part of the Toastmasters curriculum at all. You will not find an equivalent project. So we will shortly dive into the ballot paper for the judges. But before that, I would like to ask my audience, has any one of you participated in a Tall Tales contest previously? Anyone?
Yes, I have.
Great. So how was your experience, sir?
Experience is great. It's Talk is very similar to humorous speech, with the exception that it must have some exaggeration where you're not sure did it really happen or just made up, as you mentioned, the exaggeration. And from the contest point of view, the person who wins is the one who makes people laugh. The audience is,
Yes.
if the audience is rolling on the floor laughing, that's the person or contestant who's going to win. So humor is also important along with the exaggeration.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you so much for that valuable input, sir. And feel free to pipe in and correct me if I made any errors. Another trait of a tall tale, in addition to the humor, is that it does not follow the conventional speech structure in the sense that, first of all, it's a story. And secondly, it is actually not a conventional story where you have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and the end usually differs in some way to the beginning. In fact, the expectation is that your speech will end in a completely different place. It will gather steam as the speech moves along. And as it moves along, it will get more and more absurd, more and more wild, and more outlandish. So this is one thing that you need to keep in mind. So now moving on to the ballot, and for some reason, Toastmasters website is refusing to open the Toastmaster Tall Tales ballot. So I'm trying to download it from another source. And ladies and gentlemen, that's why they always say that be well prepared. Don't take things for granted. Toastmasters website working is also something that we take for granted, but sometimes it may uh, fail. So give me about 30 seconds to arrange from another site. Actually, I have another site, but it's not stating the date on which this form was uploaded.
Excuse me, Mr. TMOD. We have two guests with us, ET Toastmaster and Mr. Azim. We may request them to introduce themselves
Oh,
meanwhile.
yes. Oh, yes. Great. So, yes, Toastmaster Azim, would you like to introduce yourself?
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum.
Assalamualaikum, every Toastmaster, everyone. My name is Azim. I'm working in Stafta as a junior clerk, and we are working in Stafta since 2012.
Okay.
So uh, today topic
Okay.
is very good, Planet on Fire.
Yes. Right.
So uh, right nowadays, you know very well, on a very pollution on air. That's why atmosphere is not good. Or day by day, people cutting the forest
Yes.
in our surrounding and क्या कहते हैं jungles में. So it's not a good things in future, and also react to birds and animal also, because if air pollution is good, so everybody they are living, so they are feeling very good. Otherwise it's a very difficult in coming decades, in my point of view. So
Thank
our
you.
government. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for joining, and we hope that you find this session worthwhile. Yes, Toastmaster Elios, it is great to recognize you. Toastmaster Shakil Khaza, Toastmaster Muhammad Isaac, thank you all for joining us. And I have got something, so I'll display it with you. It is a version of a guide that I made at one point. So the final ballot. Okay, tall tales. Yes, sir. Actually, I'm trying to download the form, but Toastmasters website is actually acting up. Oh yeah, there it is. There it is. Thank you. As always, a lifesaver, Toastmaster Sarfaz Aziz, or rather, DTM Sarfaz Aziz. Thank you so much. So, and wouldn't you know it? Like now it turns out that I already had this file and it was just not turning up in search results anyhow. So I'm opening it, and there it is. Finally. Apologies for the delay, everyone. So yes, speaking of planet on fire, you have to set the planet on fire in Tall Tales through your Tall Tale. So this is the ballot, and the first thing that you notice is speech development, because Tall Tales is a speech first and foremost. Opening, build up, climax, organization, smoothness. So it automatically follows that it should have an intro, a build up, most importantly, a climax. If you count these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, each category has roughly 6 marks, although it's not right to guess that way. But without a climax that is exaggerated, that is surprising, that is shocking, that is absurd, you may lose some marks. After that, there's the speech technique, effective use of exaggeration, irony, pun, surprise twist, humor, slapstick. So this is where DTM Sarfraz's point comes in. All these are humor techniques. So you will score the highest even if your speech is a tall tale or not, but if it is funny, it is likely to score well. So 3 to 5 minutes, you have to incorporate jokes. And the best kind of humor from my personal experience is self-deprecating humor. That is, you put the humor, you target the humor towards yourself rather than any other person. After that, physical appearance and body language. Now, the interesting part here is that when you're telling the tall tale, obviously everyone knows that it is a tall tale, it is an exaggeration, but you have to sell it. You have to sell it as if it actually happened with you. And that is where your appearance, body language comes in. That is where the tall part of tall tales comes in. And please do not end with, and then aankh khul gayi. And then I woke up. No, I've heard too many tall tales ending with this. You know what that does? It actually discounts everything that was said before, and it actually turns your tall tale into just a humorous speech. It removes the tall tale portion of your tall tale. Why? Because if you're dreaming something that is realistic, we see all kinds of things in our dreams. So the important distinction to make here is that whatever happens to you in your tall tale, you have to sell it as if it actually happened to you. There's no other way around it. Voice, flexibility, and volume. This is where you will sell the tall tales, right? So the more passionate you are, the more exaggerated you are, the more out there you are. You should shout, you should scream, you should laugh like a mad person. You should sing, you should move about like crazy. Obviously, the movement and voice should not be so amplified as to take away from the story. The story is paramount because remember, speech development has 30 marks. Speech techniques, again, speech techniques, that means the text of the speech should have exaggeration, irony, puns, surprise twist, humor, slapstick. So a humorous, exaggerated story has 45 to 55 out of 100 marks. Your movement, your wild jumps, your cartwheels will just give you 15 marks no matter how good they are. So if you have to choose between delivering a compelling story versus delivering something that is entertaining for the audience in terms of slapstick movement, choose the content because content is king in Toastmasters. Finally, appropriateness to speech, purpose, and audience. Good grammar, pronunciation, and word selection. So this gives you a margin to actually use descriptive and creative language. Don't use difficult words, by the way. Why? There might be a temptation to use very hard words, but you risk losing the interest of the audience and judges. Make them as simple as possible. But you should use dialogue. Dialogue is the shortest and the most sure short path to vocal variety and body language. Because when you're speaking dialogues, you can take over the role of that particular person who's speaking that dialogue. You can change your voice, you can raise it, you can lower it, you can create a funny expression. And the second key to vocal variety in body language is emotions. Bring anger, bring surprise, bring humor. If your story has these, your expressions will automatically change according to it. Finally, appropriateness. Now, appropriateness in this case means that your topic should be relatable to the audience. Now we briefly move to the guidance that is given. And everyone, please read this carefully. Study this carefully. Speech development is the way the speaker puts ideas together, right? So speech should be ordered, it should follow a sequence. Again, it should not be a random succession of jokes or a succession of random ideas. Secondly, delivery, speech techniques, physical. Presentation of the speech carries part of the responsibility for effective communication. You should buy the speech whether the audience does or not. You should own the speech. And voice is, of course, with something which is conveying your passion, your humor, your emotions. So when you say, for example, in your tall tale, you're flying on an airplane and you open the window and just walk out and fall down, you won't say, I opened the window and I fell down and here I am. No, I opened the window. I thought I would fly, but I fell down. So stretch your voice to the limits. This is one kind of speech where there are no limits to reasonableness. You know, in other types of speeches, we stress on balance, but in this, towards the cause of exaggeration, towards the cause of humor, and towards the cause of expressiveness, you should make no compromises. I will finish this by one last consideration, which is originality. Tall tales is the one type of speech which falls victim to the originality trap the most because our first instinct is to bring superheroes. And once you bring in superheroes, their powers, their abilities actually are not your content, they are someone else's content. Even if it falls below 25%, for example, if you bring in Superman or if you convert into Spider-Man, and you said that I cast my web and I jumped around buildings and I conquered my enemies, even if you have not lifted a word from Spider-Man, still it's not an original story. So come up with your own characters, your own superpowers, your own absurd situations. So this brings my session to an end. I'll open the floor now to question and answers. So any question, any comments? Yes, Toastmaster Tessim.
Toastmaster of the day. My first question is a quick one. That is it always an in-person contest? And the second one I want to ask is that if it has to be an exaggerated and over-exaggerated story, so does it essentially has to be has it to be ended with a moral or a CTA, or it can be just ended like that?
Okay. Thank you so much for those questions, Toastmaster Tessim. The first question is, a club is at liberty to hold a contest in any manner it chooses. So KTC will hold its contest in an hybrid format. But in order to move to the next stage, keep in mind that area contests and division contests will be in person in Karachi. So you need to ensure your presence for those contests. So even if you participate online in KTC's contest and you win, you're more than welcome to continue as long as you are in Karachi at area and division stage. If you're not there, then the next winner will advance. That is number one. Number two, I am allergic to morals in tall tales. Please see my hands here. In the ballot, did you see the word conclusion? Did you see the word moral? Did you see the word purpose? In other ballots, Toastmasters specifies that the speech should be appropriate to the purpose. But in this particular contest, the only purpose is to entertain. Even in the appropriateness column, appropriateness to speech, purpose, and audience, yes, the purpose is there, but the purpose is to entertain. So if you feel compelled to add a moral at the end of the speech, you're just taking away valuable time from your speech. Instead, end it on a high note. Try to end it on a note that leaves the audience's jaws on the floor in surprise and shock, rather than delivering a lesson. Because by definition, and mark these words somewhere, I mean, I will have these words somewhere on a plate. Tall tales cannot have a moral. If it has a moral, it cannot be a tall tale, right? So I hope that's clear. Anyone else? Any comments, feedback? DTM Sarfraz, do you have anything to add or modify?
Have you mentioned the tenure of the speech? Is it like 2 to 3 minutes, right?
3 to 5 minutes. 3 minutes, 3.5, 5 minutes maximum. Sorry, 3, 4, and 5 minutes and 31 seconds is a disqualification. DTM Sarfraz.
Yes, I agree with what you've been saying. I've also noticed that not in other districts, but in District 122 in Pakistan, people assume that it's like an international speech contest, and they add in a humorous speech contest or in a tall tales contest, they add a lesson at the end. Now you need to end in like you were saying about the window. I opened the airplane window or something. So I was immediately sucked out, and instead of going down because of gravity, I was going up. Exaggerate as much as you can, and one thing to remember is that in your tall tales, you start in one place, you must end at somewhere else, at an unexpected place. You don't have to bring the speech in a circle back to where you started. So, and no need to say thank you at the end. Just let it hanging. Make people, feel hungry for more. That's when you end. So good job, DTM.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, DTM Sarfraz. And this reminds me of a scary story, which is every bit true. One of the speakers delivered a good speech, and in the end, they said, "Thank you," and over to you. And then they forgot over to whom. And after a few seconds, they said, "Contest chair." And guess what? They were disqualified because of that. So just say thank you. If you have to conclude, just say thank you. And that's it. Just stop speaking, right? Nobody will cut your marks for that, because in tall tales, there's no marks for greetings, no marks for politeness, no marks for handing over the floor, which, by the way, DTM Sarfraz specifically discourages, because we are not handing over the floor. We are not giving the building to anyone. So just stop speaking. Just end your story. Don't think about handing over to anyone else. It's a contest chair's job to manage all that. All right. So any other comments or questions? All right. Thank you. Inshallah, over the weekend, I would suggest to please start writing your tall tale right now. And let me disclose that I will be competing. So you may choose or not choose to share your doubts with me, but get hold of a mentor, get hold of any person. Toastmaster Vasa is an excellent one, because he won't be competing, and DTM Sarfraz too. Yeah.
DTM Tada, that's strange. You're saying so and so not competing, Vasa is not competing, and then just the fact that you said I will be competing, people say, okay, forget about my speech. You asked the members to start preparing, and then you say I'll be competing. That's stop. They're now putting down their pen.
Well, if it's if it's any encouragement, uh, I have not written my speech yet as well. It's just 1 week to go. Full disclosure. So it's just an idea in my head right now. So you are more than welcome to participate, each and every one of you.
Yeah. Yeah, my suggestion or recommendation is don't think about the contestants. Work on your
Yes.
speech and think of it that you will become a better speaker by doing this or by competing.
And let me encourage you some more. I have a proven track record. Whoever I have advised on their speech, even when I'm competing, they've always beat me. So that might be another incentive for you. But again, choose anyone who is not a contestant and you can share your speech with them. But please start writing it right now. Let me give you one last tip. As long as you have a strong and compelling idea which you yourself love, you have a tall tale. The only thing remaining is execution, right? So practice, and start writing your speech. And with that, we move on to the next project. Thank you so much, everyone, for putting up with me due to the technical problems. Thank you, DTM Sarfraz, for being the knight in shining armor, as always, and sharing the ballot. Now we have the second project, and it will be evaluated by Toastmaster Noreen. Fastmaster Toastmaster Noreen, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening. Today, for a second. Today, the DTM Asghar will be presenting his project from Path Motivational Strategies Level 3. The project title is Connecting with Audience, and the duration of the speech will be 5 to 7 minutes. The objective of the speech is for the speaker to practice the skills needed to connect with an unfamiliar audience. The speaker could complete this project by practicing the skills needed to connect with an unfamiliar audience. For this, the speaker has to present a topic that is new or unfamiliar with the members. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Okay, everyone put your hands together for Toastmaster Muhammad Asghar. Reality check. Reality check, Toastmaster Muhammad Asghar.
I'm just starting my stage. Crafting is a skill which need to be learned. Okay. Dear caretaker president, Toastmasters, and guests, I was a very sensitive person till recently. It was only matter of time when I could when I could watch something bad on the news that would be me in a fetal position all day because I had watched or seen something terrible that happened across the world, sometime even 30,000 feet above the sea level, which stressed me. Last time this happened as early as last year, when some trekkers or mountaineers stranded somewhere in the Mount Everest and rescued sooner. But it was not the first instant that such rescue missions was done. 2 years earlier, yes, 2 years earlier, at least 3 helicopters were flown to rescue just one British mountaineers in a 15 day missions after incurring expenditure, I believe, around 500 millions to rescue just one mountaineers. So today, over air, I decided not to be sensitive, especially when it comes to the mountaineers and trekkerers. I also believe that the rescue missions are costly, and we must ask ourselves whether they are worth it. Yes, human lives are valuable and need to be saved at any cost. Yes, Pakistan needed tourism or foreign tourist. But Everest climber is something that we must ask ourselves certain questions. For example, should climber be protected against the consequences of their own recklessness? Dear Toastmasters, the since decade I have seen that mostly foreigners are indulging in this mountaineering sports. But for thousands years, even before the Westerner came over air, the mountains such as Himalayan range had been revered and respected, but had never been summited. The reason was simple, because the local people knew that the trek would be treacherous one. Then something else happened. White people saw those mountains and started to measure the land, mountain, and many things else. They even constitute a department called Surveyor Journal of India, which subsequently become a survey of Pakistan after the partition in our part of the world. But you can't ignore the exploitation and Machiavellian behavior of the white people. For example, an Indian mathematician, namely Sedkar, measured the mountain and submitted its report to the Surveyor Journal of India. But after that, he was written out of the record as if this gentleman had never existed. And the unglamorous reality is that even the Everest is named after someone called George Everest, who had been the Surveyor Journal of India before this Indian gentleman Sedkar reported the discovery. And it is also doubtful that the Mr. Everest himself ever saw the Mount Everest. In other words, he has no connection with the mountain which bear his name. Secondly, the colonial narrative that the Himalaya had no prior name before the advent of enlightened white people is also not correct. The tribal living around the Everest called it Komolongo, or the goddess's mother of the world. And lastly, the last cut is the deepest and most painful. Today, people of local tribes work as porter and guide, mostly on daily wages, carrying the load of those rich white climber in in an exploitative economy. Dear Toastmaster, in our world of influencers and achiever, extreme climbing is a currency or something to be highly celebrated or achieved. As you can see in the pictures and the videos, that the Everest climbers are trailed by a camera crew so that their greatness can be recorded and then streamlined to their follower even across the Atlantic. On the other hand, the poor porters and the guides are left out of the picture and videos. These left out daily wagers are mostly without education and gainfully economic opportunities. Believe me, in a fair world, the millions should go to them that we actually waste on our risky mission. So today, over here, let me return to the first paragraph of my speech. My gloves are off. I decided to stop being in a fetal position now. Over these stranded, risky missions, and loudly call a spade to make this game extinct. Today, I just did that. Now it is your turn, DTM Thala, as a Toastmaster of the day. Over to you.
Sorry.
You are
Thank Thank you so much, Toastmaster Asgar. Amongst many other things that we learned from your speech, one was also a creative way to end the speech. So, incorporating handing over to Toastmaster of the day right as part of the element, and that can also be a good tip for the contests. So, moving on with our theme of a burning planet. And ironically, or rather appropriately, Toastmaster Faisal's speech also expanded upon that very subject. Now, the question always arises that what can we do to reverse or address the situation? And the answer is as depressing as it is obvious. Nothing. In our country, sitting where we are, and even we can say that the government does not have any plan, although it does, the fact of the matter is that we are responsible for less than 1% of global greenhouse emissions. And even if we completely switch to sustainable energy, we bring our emissions to zero, it won't make an iota of difference to the entire global warming. But that takes me to my next point. Since ESG and sustainability are now big topics, and even at my institute, they are the most popular topics for training and consultancy. People often ask us during trainings that, you are telling us to reduce our emissions, but if we reduce our emissions, what difference will it make? Let me tell you what difference will it make. By reducing our emissions, we'll set an example for the rest of the world. Just like our rapid solarization has set the world on notice, we are only, in large countries, Pakistan is number one in solar adoption. So that shows the world that even without institutional support, even without any coordinated plan by our government, a population can settle and act upon a solution to the ongoing problem of lack of energy, lack of cheap energy in Pakistan. As a happy side effect, of course, solar energy is much more environmentally friendly than fossil fuel based power. So that is one example, that is one case where we've already set an example for the world. So we'll move on now to the next project. The next project is by Toastmaster Tessin Fatma, and she will be evaluated by Toastmaster Wasik. So over to you for project explanation, Toastmaster Wasik.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Today, Toastmaster Tehseen Fatma will be delivering her speech from Pathway Engaging Humor Level 4. In the project, her project is The Power of Humor in an Impromptu Speech. The purpose statement is, the purpose of this project is for the member to develop their method for giving impromptu speeches and practice adapting rehearsed stories during a presentation. Basically, she will be combining two speeches, which would be roughly of around 2 to 3 minutes. The Toastmaster of the day would be calling out the topics, and those topics are impromptu. She does not know the topics. So, Toastmasters of the day and Toastmaster session, Fatma. You have this.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So this project is a bit paradoxical because it is titled The Power of Humor in an Impromptu Speech. But essentially, the speech is not impromptu. It is it will be based on one of the pre-selected topics. The duration of each speech would be 2 to 3 minutes. All right. So I'll be assigning two topics from from a list of topics that has already been given by Toastmasters. So Toastmaster testing, your first topic is you are delivering a speech that requires presentation slides. Your computer stops working and you need to fill the time with an engaging speech while a technology issue is repaired. You can start.
Okay.
Yes.
The time starts now.
Yeah.
By the time we are getting back the internet facility and arranging all these slides for you, I have some interesting statistics to share with you. As in a few months, Ramadan Kareem is approaching by, and all Muslims are so excited about this religious month. But we, the digital marketers, are the top listed pious Muslims who are 3x, 4x, or 5x excited about Ramadan is coming. Not because we will be fasting, we will be having delicious iftars. Yes, that will be there. But because we will be having a lots of digital campaigns on 2x, 3x prices compared with the rest of the 11 months. So my advertising family, my digital team, let's plan meanwhile that which designer where you are going to try this Ramadan, or which will make Coca-Cola look good. The slot from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., or that is already booked by Pepsi. Oh my God, then which will we be giving to Unilever? These are the ties that come and fight within our heads because simultaneously we all have to facilitate Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Unilever, P&G, all, and have to give them the best masthead rates, which Gurugram has officially acquired already. So, besides thinking of the Eid attire, whether it will be Maria B or J Dot or Sana Safinas, let's start also thinking about the masthead slots, the 4 to 5 one, the 5 to 6 one. And someone was telling me that this time Ramadan will be the winter one. So it means that iftar will be somewhere around 6 or 6:30. So the most expensive mastheads will be from 4 to 6 p.m. Oh, my IT team has just given me a green signal and I don't want to actually get out of this conversation, which is about to enter into a very beneficial mode for our advertising faculty. But let's continue it in our tea break. Meanwhile, I'm leaving you one very important question. This Eid, Maria B is more expensive or Sana Safina's? Let's have a chat while having tea. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Your second topic is with a slight twist. And of course, keep in mind that this is an engaging humor part, so you have to demonstrate humor during this, right? So you have to deliver a eulogy for me.
Mm,
Yeah,
you.
with humor, yes. It said eulogy for a friend, so yeah, I'm your friend, right? So eulogy for me, Toastmaster Tehseen Fa.
I started my day with all the tears coming out of my eyes. Even I didn't apply my sun blazer today. I forgot it because my mind is totally occupied with all the thoughts of three letters TBH. To be honest, he was never an honest person. But this is the time when I recall my grandma's saying, never be too backbiting about the person who has left. Alas. But I have to be honest as well, no? His name says, I recall the days when actually I had a first call with him and he gave me a 20 minutes amazing speech on the benefits of joining Toastmasters. It was something closer to the speech a week before I got from Silk Bank's credit card guy who was so enthusiastic. Madam, this is the best card in the world, which will give you so much bounty of benefits and all. And I was convinced. The 20-minute speech by TBH made me joining the Toastmasters immediately, even before attending the first session of KTC. But from the bottom of my heart, I know that this was the only best thing he has done in his life, asking people to join the Toastmasters. And he never told me that every Wednesday I have to pay additional 500. He never told me that the fee will fluctuate as the USD rate will fluctuate. He never told me that I have to buy a pathway once first is finished. But still, he was a nice man. He was a mentor. He guided me. And I wish him all the peace and prosperity to where he is, because I know he will be having a lot of lawyers and politicians around him. So I don't know, the life here was easy or there. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much. Toastmaster Tehseen, I must say, you aced it. Like, that was amazing, seriously amazing. Thank you so much for that.
माफी कर दीजिए हर लफ्ज की.
No, seriously, like, that was seriously amazing. So, everyone, we are through with the prepared speeches. And Toastmaster Faisal Hadi, unfortunately, could not qualify. He was less than the minimum time. For the rest of the speakers, I'm floating a poll. And please poll this, please rate the speakers' speeches on a scale of 1 to 5. So with that, I hand over the charge now to our table topics master, Toastmaster Nurul Fun.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening. My fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, I welcome you all in the most exciting and thrilling segment of a Toastmasters meeting, and that is the table topics session. So, for as I can see some guests, so I would just like to share the format of a table topic session. I'll randomly call people from the audience, and a random topic would be assigned to them, and they have to speak on that very topic for minimum 1 minute and maximum of 2 minutes. So I'll highly appreciate if all speakers could use word of the day. And today's word of the day is really aligned with the theme of the meeting, and that is extinct, which means that our organization, our species could lead to extinction. And one of the cause would be, for these extinction is our planet on fire. So let's start. And our first speaker would be, anyone want to volunteer or should I choose from my?
Toastmaster Elios actually volunteered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Toastmaster Ilios, are you there with us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, you are audible and visible.
Okay.
So your topic is, if the planet could speak, what do you think it would say to humanity for now? If the planet could speak, what do you think it would say to humanity today? Over to you, Toastmaster Ilios.
Let me think with. Okay, I'm ready. Fire? Fire again? We are on fire! Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, imagine if the planet, our beloved planet, Earth, say that we are on fire. Literally, what you are going to do? Well, this is the extinction that will be happen during the dinosaurs era. And we are going to extinct like dinosaurs just because we are Toastmasters. Dinosaurs Toastmasters, DTM. Oops, I didn't say the right words, I think. But yes, if you are the DTM who are not upgrading yourself or updating yourself after you listen to our beloved Taha bin Hamid sir, tall and tall tales, well, you should be. You should join the contest because that's what the planet will say. Join the contest. This is for your safety. This is for your preservation. We love you in this planet to join the contest. And that's what the planet definitely will say. If you are avoiding to join the contest, well, now it's not only Taha encourage you with that kind of statement. Yes, I encourage all of you here to join the contest, and I'm also joining. And that will be exactly what the planet says if you're not still encouraging. Yes, the planet will join the contest. So see you all the Tall Tales contest with our planet Earth as the contestant. Back to you, contest chair.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ilios, for connecting the topic with our just happened tall tale education session. I love the way you twisted the topic and connected it with our tall tale speeches. So yes, we need to really work on to save our already heated planet. So moving towards our next speaker, do we have Toastmaster Muhammad Arshad? If he's there with us. Toastmaster Arshad, are you there with us? Or should or we can move to our next speaker. Uh, Khizran Khani.
Khizra. It is, I think.
He's. I'm actually checking the participant sheet list. So where I'm actually trying to. If we have our general
Yes,
evaluator.
yes, I'm here. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, that's really great that you're out there with us. So, Toastmaster Khizran, your topic
Yes.
is, which is one habit you have recently changed or want to change to help calm down this already on fire planet? Which is one habit you have recently changed or want to change to help calm down this already on fire planet? Over to you, Toastmaster Khizran.
Okay. Give me some 5 seconds.
Sure.
Okay. So we all know we are here in a world where everywhere we are surrounded by negativity, negative words. Nothing is positive. We are not feeling positive because of our surrounding. Then there is a Toastmaster audience who are supporting everyone positively, where uh, Tehseen Fatma, who has supported me very positively and guided me, Mr. Talha. I don't know whether I'm connecting it very well or not, but I'm trying. Uh, Sorry. Okay. Um, then there's a Toastmaster class where positivity is spreaded through words, through the confidence of the through the confidence that they have provided us, the learners, and it is the thing that has uh, given an positive energy to the people who are not that much confident persons. I'm trying, please.
No, no, please carry on. Please
You're
say
doing
whatever
very
you want
well.
to
Don't
say.
be conscious. You're doing
Yeah,
very
please don't stop. Keep speaking.
Connecting it very well or not?
You
No,
don't
you
need
are
to
doing it.
bother
Just
about
get,
that.
yeah, you don't need to worry
Just
about it. Just say it whatever you want to say.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. So that is the energy that I really need from all of yours. I mean, this is the positivity I really need in my life to tackle to tackle the everyday issues where everyone is building their confidence by crushing others' confidence. I mean, everyone has built the temple of their confidence in professional life by decreasing or by crushing others confidence. No one has their own. They are just building the temple of their confidence by crushing others, and that is professional life. And in such professional life, we need those people who support you without any grudges, without any polishing. And that is what I am searching, and I think I have searched already. That is Toastmaster class. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Khizran, for sharing your thoughts. And yes, you are lucky to be part of Toastmasters, because in Toastmasters you always get constructive feedback that actually really helps us in growing and moving forward, not like our professional lives. So we also want to see you in our future meetings as well. Now, do we have Toastmaster
so
Shaki,
yes,
Shaki Khwaja?
he's there. He's there. He's there.
Okay. So, Toastmaster Shakil Khwaja, your topic is, suppose you have given an opportunity to lead as the Prime Minister of Pakistan for one day. So, which environmental policy intervention would you like to implement first? Over to you, Toastmaster Shakil Khwaja.
Thank you very much for the topic. One fine day, I woke up from my sleep. To my utter surprise, I was in the Prime Minister House of Pakistan. I could not believe my eyes. Everybody was standing there. Sir, you have an important meeting with the president. Army chief is calling me. I was just like that. What happened? Prime Minister is our Shehbaz Sharif is the Prime Minister. What happened? Then I realized there is something very strange and it's very good. I was given from my personal assistant the directive, "You are the Prime Minister for today, sir. What can you do for our country?" I feel really blessed. At least I got that chance. I thought of what to do. I had a lot of things on my list. I just wanted one thing to be implemented. Any guesses from the audience? No, it's not the ban on internet to increase socializing. I would like to have a heavy punishment on the cutting of trees. Brilliantly, you can say I visited the northern areas of Pakistan. The mountains were really full of green. Sorry to say, it's all brown nowadays. Even the famous Margala Hills have gone barren like that. We have smog in Lahore, becoming the polluted city of the world. Also, Islamabad is no more that greener it tended to be 25 years ago. I would like to have a heavy punishment, not only the fine, but imprisonment for at least 4 to 5 years. Ladies and gentlemen, if we don't care for our environment, we are destined to be doomed. Let's think about it. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shakil Khwaja, for highlighting such a very important environmental issue that is deforestation. And yes, we all know that if we keep cutting our trees, it will lead to increase in our global temperature because carbon forests would definitely, if they will be reduced, the absorption of carbon dioxide will be less and will ultimately lead to global warming. And of course, led to our planet destruction. Moving forward, do we have DTM Nazir Ahmed with us? Sir,
Uh,
are you there?
you're talking about
Did you?
DTM Sarfraz, Nazir? No, he's
Yes,
not.
sir. Yes. Okay. So do we?
Toastmaster Noreen, can I go next?
Yes, sure, please. I already have chosen topic for you. So your topic is, in your opinion, what is the biggest obstacle for taking climate action? Ignorance, apathy, or greed? In your
Can you repeat it
opinion,
once more? Huh?
yes, I'm just going to repeat it. What is the biggest obstacle for taking climate action? Whether it's ignorance, apathy, or greed. Over to you, Toastmaster Hibaris Khan.
Okay, fellow Toastmasters and guests, quite an interesting topic you've given me. I think it's ignorance in speaking from Pakistan government's perspective. So, because as we know, Pakistani government perspective, because a lot of there's some things which cannot be said openly in because openly, like for instance if I say that we all know where the government's budget mainly goes, and a lot of the budget mainly goes, and uh, and other aspects, social, economic, environmental aspects are ignored, which is why we as an economy have suffered environmentally as well. And DTM Tala, what's the word of the day?
Extinct.
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 Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And as we've suffered a lot because of it. Our temperatures have throughout Pakistan. In global warming has definitely drastically affected our economy. It has caused major environmental changes such as temperature increase, more high level of rain throughout the country, and for flooding, excessive, especially in rural areas. And So, there's a chain of multitude of effects which have caused due to the ignorance of the government for allocating proper monetary budget to the to the environmental cause. There has been a series of multitude of negative consequences which have occurred, and as a result, our economy has suffered a lot. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hiba, for beautifully highlighting the connection of ignorance with these the harmful impacts of climate change that we are already witnessing. And yes, we need to allocate proper budget, because without budget we cannot apply and we cannot act on climate adaptation and mitigation actions, because funds are allocated and it's time or high time for the government of Pakistan to take some global climate action. And yes, we can see that Pakistan has recently contributed and published NDC 3, which is a nationally determined contributions to the UN. And it shows its commitment that they are already doing some great work for climate actions, but we need to do more and stringent actions. Now, moving forward, I'm going to have my last speaker. Uh, do we have Toastmaster Wasi Ahmed? Are you there with us?
Yes.
Okay. So, Toastmaster Wasi, your topic is hope is renewable. So please share a story or idea that renews your hope and how it can spark in climate action. Should I repeat the topic or you got it?
Uh, Repeat the topic.
Okay, sure. Hope is renewable. So please share a story or idea that renews your hope and how it can spark climate actions.
Thank you, Toastmaster, Table Topic Master. Hope is renewable. Why? Because I always engage hope with God. God is someone that is all powerful, that can do anything, whatever he wants. So if I believe in the fact that he can do whatever he wants, then anything is possible. We haven't seen the deserts of Arabia turn into green lands in last 2000 years, but we are watching it now turning into green land. People talk about carbon emissions going all out, but we also have to see or observe that we are, though slowly, but moving towards the use of renewable energy. Even as DTM Tala highlighted in the session today, that Pakistan's consumption of electricity, of national electricity that's provided, is going negative, even though the GDP and the production is growing. But the consumption of electricity is going down. Why? Because we are moving towards solar energy. So world is adapting towards greener or better world. However, what remains the point of argument is, will we be quickly able to, with enough pace, we will be able to catch up with the climate change that's happening? Well, that seems a bit of problem. However, if this amount of change has come till yet, why not the other part? Right. Before that, we haven't seen even the solar, the concept of renewable energy too, but we are seeing it. So why not? Over to you, Toastmasters. Table talk.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Wasi Ahmed, for beautifully connecting the topic and sharing how this hope as a renewable entity can further worsen the impacts of climate change. With this, our table topic session comes to an end. I'm handing over the virtual stage to our Toastmaster of the evening, DTM Talha and Hamid. Uh, DTM Talha, are you there with
Oh,
us?
sorry. Okay, I need to repeat. So first of all, thank you for an amazing table topic session, Toastmaster Noreen. We got to hear some really great idea. Everyone, please vote for your favorite table topic speaker. Moving on with our theme of global warming and our planet on fire. So I'll slightly digress, and this is the part where I will recommend a movie for everyone to watch. It is a very recent movie, and it is called The Lost Bus. It is about a bus driver in California who has a bus full of children, and he is trapped amid the California fires. It is a true story, and while it is a very high intensity drama, one of the key takeaways of that movie is how the fires start, how fast they spread. Because in Pakistan, thankfully, fingers crossed, uh, we do not experience forest fires that much. Uh, but in California, there are major hazards. So that film shows in real time how forest fires initiate and how fast they spread. They are far faster than humans can control them. And if it is paired with high winds, then it's game over. Then you can't do anything except for the forest fire to die down on its own. And needless to say, forest fires, of course, they have natural causes. Forest fires are as old as humanity itself, or even older. But the global warming, the sporadic dryness of the climate also increases the intensity and the frequency of forest fires. So everyone, please go ahead, watch this movie. It will change a lot. It will change your mind about climate change. Thank you so much. So with that, now we move on to the last session of the meeting, which is journal evaluation. So over to you, our journal evaluator, Toastmaster Arthur.
Thank you so much. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, thank you. So I really appreciate how the DMOD explained the topic of climate change, and he made it clear how climate changes are happening in our environment and the impact it has on our lives. So let's move to the most important segment of our meeting. As you know, this segment consists of three insightful and enriching parts. In the first, we call upon the speech evaluators. In the second, we invite the table topic evaluators. And in the third, we hear the facilitators' reports. And finally, we share general thoughts on the session as a whole. So, Didim Talaha, should we follow the agenda's speaker order or evaluate the speakers in the sequence they actually
Uh,
delivered their speech
I think we should follow the agenda.
agenda? So, according to the agenda, the first speaker was Toastmaster Tehseen, and who truly lived up to her project and delivered a meaningful message in her speech. To share constructive feedback on her engaging speech, I am delighted to invite Toastmaster Nawase Ahmed to share your feedback.
Thank you, General Evaluator. How can I give someone a laughing send off from this world? Today, we learned from Toastmaster Tehseen's speech. She made us laugh in a eulogy. Wow. This project which he was delivering today is complicated in itself because there are two topics which he have to join and she has to include humor in that. So overall, if I look at the project's objective, a part of it is achieved. She gave her two speeches to the best anyone could imagine. However, what seemed to be missing for me was that these two speeches were supposed to be interconnected with each other and filled with humor. What I saw was that the first speech, in which she was told to fill in time for showing the slides, she made it a simple speech, although the end was humorous, I would say, when she was talking about slots and it's time for benefit for us. And she said she did include a bit of humor in that, but the first speech was mainly a simple plain speech. However, what really made in which she really made a comeback was the second speech, which had so many humor punches. One could just imagine that in every three sentences there was a humorous punch. Another thing which I liked about her speech was that she had a sad face in geology while she was making us laugh. There was vocal variety when she was calling out the announcement, the deliberation in her sentences, how clean she was in delivering them. It was really well. What could be improved was conclusion. She was going already good if she would have concluded in that way when she was putting TVH into hell. That would have been enough. But adding lawyers and politicians was felt a bit stretched out. So I think there she could have just left it by putting TVH into hell. Not actually. Overall, a great project delivered. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vase, for such in detailed and valuable feedback. Moving forward, we have Toastmaster Azhar, and who truly engaged the audience with his inspiring words and confident delivery. And to evaluate his speech, I would love to invite you, Toastmaster Noreen Fatma, to share your valuable feedback on his wonderful performance. Back to you, Toastmaster Noreen.
Thank you so much, Miss General Evaluator, for the nice introduction. My fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, today we learn some important information about the Mountaineers and Trackers mission that we were really not aware of. Yes, Toastmaster Asghar has already achieved the objective of the project. Indeed, it was a very well researched speech. We really didn't know that why Mount Everest was named and what was the rationale behind and who actually named it. And since this subject is actually related to his professional experience, so he seemed to be more fluent and sharing the knowledge it was and confidently he was sharing the information. And it was a well structured speech. We started with a very catchy opening, sharing the narration that we were thinking about. What would be that he was most afraid of? And then in a body, he said most important information, and that was actually really new for us. And in the conclusion, that was really impactful. I love the way he actually delivered the virtual stage. He handed over the virtual stage to DTM Talha. That now I can boldly say that it's time to extinct these mountaineers and trackers mission because how it is actually impacting our country's economy as well. Moving towards the areas of improvement, as we all know, there is always room for improvement. As the project is about connecting with the audience, it would be great if he could ask the questions from the audience, like related to the topic, like who actually named the world's largest mountain, that is called Mount Everest. So it could connected us more. And secondly, what I noted that in the body segment, a lot of too much information was shared. So if there will be one or two most relevant stats that could be shared, it could engage more to the audience. Otherwise, it left us more distracted. And last but not the least, since this topic is related to his professional experience, is already working in the Rescue 112. So we wanted to hear some personal stories that he might could have faced some incident that could actually impacted or could have some horrible incident that actually connected us more. Otherwise, it was a very well researched, well structured speech, and we want to listen more about from him in future. Oh, and a little bit working on connecting with the audience and some personal touch and working on the content in which we should try to have less content would actually improve our speeches in a more better way. Over to you, Miss Jana Diwali.
Thank you, Toastmaster Noreen. I truly appreciate your time and the thoughtful feedback you shared. Thank you so much. So the next speaker is the Toastmaster Faisal, and I have the pleasure of being his evaluator. So I would now like to share my evaluation. So Toastmaster Faisal, I truly appreciate the effort you put into your speech titled "Traffic Pollution in Karachi," and you chose a meaningful topic that affects our daily lives, and by doing so you immediately caught our attentions. So dear fellow members, what made this speech remarkable was that Toastmaster Faisal talked about traffic pollution in Karachi while actually driving, and it gave us a real sense of traffic pollution and added authenticity to his message. And though he was driving and couldn't use his hand gestures, and but he didn't it didn't feel that way at all, because the way he delivered his speech with such fluency and from the heart, it made us forget that there were no hand gestures or no in standing position. So the content of his speech was truly relatable. And dear fellow, delivering his speech while driving shows incredible focus in multitasking. As he managed both, it truly showed he is master of both. So while his speech was powerful on its own, its true strength came from how relatable and relevant it was to everyone. But two things I need to point out. One of that is that Toastmaster Faisal, when you were talking about issues, and you even said that to tackle this situation, there should be solution for of this problem. But none of the solutions you mentioned, even mentioning one solution that you believe could actually work as a key to tackling this issue, would have made your speech even more effective, more stronger. Even though these problems don't just disappear in real life, but we as a storyteller, we have the freedom to deliver a message that inspires hope. That's why I feel your speech could have ended with a stronger, more impactful conclusion on a positive note. Second thing, there was still some time left, so you could have spoken a bit more on your topic. Again, I would say that in that remaining time, you could have addressed some solutions, talk about hopes, and made the audience feel that if this issue is addressed, it could truly make a difference. Overall, your delivery, you delivered a powerful speech on traffic pollution in Karachi, and your dedication delivering while driving made it even more impressive. Thank you so much of Faisal, and we look forward to hearing many more impactful speeches from you in the future. So now coming back, and now it's time to, as you all know, we enjoyed insightful evaluation of our prepared speeches. It's time to turn our attention to our impromptu sessions, where our table topic evaluator, Toastmaster Muhammad Azhar, will share his valuable feedbacks. So let's welcome with a big round of applause. Toastmaster Azhar, back to you.
Thank you, Journal Evaluator. Thank you for your permission and handing over the charge. Thank you very much, Table Topic Masters. The way you selected the people randomly and called them for being a speaker in this session. Our first speaker was Elias, if I'm not wrong. Please forgive me if I'm not pronouncing it well. Elias, Now, the topic that you were supposed to speak, if the planet could speak, what would it say to us? What I liked most is taking a pause for at least 3 to 5 seconds and then shouting in a way to create an alarm. And that is what the dramatic entry called. Should we be all fired? And he talked about our beloved planet, how it is fired now, and we are all facing extinctions. And when he mentioned the word extinction, the dinosaur naturally came into the mind. What I like most is the way he connected DTM Tala's subject and contextualized it in a rather funny way. And that was the funny part of his speech. The connection, the theme, the topic, and the way he invite us all for the context and incoming context. This is the most humorous part that I liked in him. He not only connected the topic but also twisted in a funny way. This is first time to listen him. I hope he will be a frequent visitor. We want to listen him. Our second speaker was Khizran. One habit that you have changed or want to change to calm down the planet. Again, she literally asked for 5 second pause, but then in a very beautiful way, she started to talk, introduce the topic, talked about the negativism, and he mentioned as uh, ideas about why the positive people or the positive sense is not prevailing around us. Then he mentioned Toastmaster Club, the way she is getting the support from some of the club member, including Tehseen Fatima and DTM Thala. I think she forgot to mention my name, but you know, it's okay. What I like in her, despite she did not mention my name, her confidence, and I have a complaint to register that why in the middle of the speech he tried to stop while he was speaking so well and convincing all of us. We want her again, like Elenius, to come our club and talk more with us. So I like your confidence, your vocal variety, and your style of speaking. Our third speaker was Shakil Khwaja, a PM for one day. Shakil, what I liked is the way you thanked the table topic masters before starting your speech. Then you described the way of your PM ship, the way you realized that you are a PM, or someone told you that you had been appointed as PM, the way you felt blessed and thought just about one thing: heavy punishment for those people who are cutting the trees. Then you bemoaned the situation of northern areas or Margana Hill where trees are being reduced due to the human intervention, which has the catastrophic effect, at least in environment context. But overall, what I liked generally in you is your stage crafting. And this is not only this speech, but this is my opportunity to speak for you. Your stage crafting, the structure of your speech, the way you structured it, your excellent beginning, middle, and the conclusion. Why I like it most? Because it's a impromptu speech. It was without planning, but the way you managed to structure it and create an initial beginning or a middle body and the conclusion is really amazing. I will learn it from you. I have learned it and I will practice it. Thank you being with us today. Our third speaker was Heba, the biggest obstacle, greed, ignorance, or empathy. Heba chose greed, but what I like most is the way she welcomed all fellow Toastmasters and guests. She was the only speaker today who welcomed the fellow Toastmaster and guest. Thank you. Then she chose ignorance as a factor and talked, elaborate this ignorance, talked about the lack of openness in the government sector. Environmental issue is she considered the government the ignorance of the government being responsible for the uh, something erupted. Okay. Being okay. Then she talked about the journal environment, the way it is affecting the economy, mentioned the flood in the rural areas, and she tried to conclude that all this is happening because of the ignorance of the government. I also liked the way she used certain expression and the language, for example, multitude of negative impact of environment on people, etc. She, in the very middle of the speech, asked DTM Tala the word of the day. I know DTM Tala is responsible for many things, including my status not being a DTM, but he was unfortunately not Toastmaster of the day to respond. Um, the last speaker was Toastmaster Vase. Toastmaster Vase, hope is renewable, how it sparked the climate action. Toastmaster Vase repeated the topic and then talked about his belief that everything is possible, and he cited a very relevant example how the desert of Arabia uh, has been converted into green, and then they talked about the global emission, renewable energy, and then he elaborated the Pakistan's consumption of electricity going down because of the renewable energy. He referred the Toastmaster of the day, the argument built by Toastmaster of the day, and the way the converting the topic of the renewable energy and renewable hope was something, Wase, I really liked in your today's speech. This is the end from my side. I think all speakers are done. Over to you, Journal Evaluator, and thank you for providing this opportunity to me.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Muhammad Asghar, for your feedback. It was truly encouraging, and you gave practical tips to speaker. And I'm sure the speakers will greatly benefit from your insight. So now it's time to turn our attention toward final part of this segment to hear from our dedicated facilitators. And so first, I would like to invite Toastmaster Wasi Ahmed, who played on the role of grammarian and the word master. So, Toastmaster Wasi, please share your report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. The word of the day was extinct, and to the best of my knowledge, it was spoken by ET twice. Coming to the good usage of grammar or vocabulary, which I liked, was hyperbolic, pipe in, it will gather steam, knight in shining armor, Machiavellian behavior, enlightened, exploitative economy, call spade a spade, destined to be doomed, multitude of negative effect, things which could have been improved. Someone said fatal position, which should have been horrible position or others. Why not fatal? Because fatal means death, clear death. Someone said 2 years earlier, it should have been 2 years ago because 2 years earlier lacks the reference point. Someone said streamlined, which should have been live streamed. That's from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vase. And so next, our counter, Toastmaster Tehseen, took on the role of monitoring unnecessary pauses and filler words. So now I invite you, Toastmaster Tehseen, to share your insightful report.
You, General Evaluator. So, to my knowledge, Toastmaster Faisal used almost 13 filler words in his speech. Toastmaster Asghar used three arms. Toast, the guest Hizran used three filler words, and Toastmaster Hiba used four arms. That's all from my side.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Tehseen. Now, listener report, and I request you, Toastmaster Hiba, to share your report.
Okay. So fellow Toastmasters, someone said stranded. Someone said stranded. Toastmaster Asghar Sumro. Master plan. Someone said master plan. Toastmaster Faisal Hadi. And the last one, trailed. Trailed. Okay, that was Toastmaster Asghar Sumro. That's about it for my report. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hiba. So now it's time for the gender evaluation. So first, I would like to say that I really noticed the flyer shared by DTM Talaha as agenda, and as always, it was beautiful design. But this time, it stood out even more because the theme was planet on fire, and it's so captivating with the fiery design. It feels like it feels like agenda ko aag lage hai. So the red color perfectly captured the essence of today's theme. So beside that, the flyer designed by Tosmaji Tehseen reflected her professionalism and how sincerely she approaches her role as VPPR. And honestly, seeing her work, it's easy to understand that how this position is becoming so inspiring and appealing to others. So the meeting went online right on the time and with no technical issue, which made the session seamless and is really enjoyable. And I really appreciate and I really love the heart-touching speech delivered by Tosma Desin and for conducting the educational session by DTM Talaha and the powerful speech by Azhar. We all enjoyed listening to all the table topic speakers. It was inspiring to hear everyone share their thoughts sincerely. Thank to all the listeners and the guests for joining and taking the time to be the part of the meeting. And heartfelt thanks to the Toastmaster Noreen Fatima for your time and for your participation. Your presence truly made this meeting even more charming. And thank you to all speakers. A big thank you to our guests, role takers, and every listener. I truly hope this meeting was meaningful for all of you. With that, let's hand the session back to our Toastmaster of the day, DTM Talha bin Hamid.
Thank you so much. What a great journal evaluation session we had. And your comments, Toastmaster Arfa, were the icing on the top. It is something to learn that you commented on each and every aspect of the meeting, including the agenda, including the flyer. So it was a full 360-degree coverage. Thank you so much. And before I wind up, I'll ask you to vote for the best Big Four. And there you go. And in the meantime, let's take comment from our guest. First of all, Toastmaster Elios, your comments about the meeting.
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, your comments about the meeting.
Mm. This is wonderful meeting. Like what GE said, I came because of the flyer. It looks nice. Art is there. What was happening? I don't want to explain. I don't want to get the fear of missing out. So I came to this meeting and I learned about the tall tales from our Talha sir. And that's what interesting because yeah, it is basically like what happened in stand-up comedy. For open micer, it is 3 to 5 minutes, a very short one, but crisp and entertaining. If you happen to see my speech is entertaining, it is comes from hard work. Hard work is talent. To be frankly honest, I have no talent at all in comedy. I'm a very serious person. So yes, this kind of meeting in Toastmasters enhance me to become a better. Especially this, the topic is very good, very relating. The climate change and all the question is for the topic is what we call it, insightful and on point. And it comes with good wrap up with our biology, so I don't think I need to explore more about it. Back to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Elios. Thank you for gracing our meeting. And there can be no greater tribute to a meeting flyer than someone getting attracted by it and deciding to attend the meeting and invest 2 hours in it. So thank you, Toastmaster Tessin, and congratulations on the flyer. Toastmaster Shakil, your thoughts on the
Thanks for the opportunity, DTM Talha. The primary reason of joining this meeting was getting help and tips for the upcoming Tall Tales contest. You actually reminded me of the areas to look for and a lot of audience as well. And attending a KTC meeting after a long time, so it was really fun participating in table topics and getting the listen to the speeches of wonderful speakers you already have at KTC. So a very good enriched learning experience. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shakil. It was great having you. So, with no guests left, we will announce the results. First of all, it gives me immense pleasure to announce that today's best speaker is Toastmaster Tehseen Fatma, beating Toastmaster Asghar by 1 point. Congratulations and congratulations on qualifying. So, best evaluator today goes to Toastmaster Noreen. Congratulations. Best table topics today goes to Toastmaster Shakil Khwaja. Congratulations. And best Big Four today goes to Toastmaster Arfa Fahim, our journal evaluator. So congratulations to everyone. And hoping and praying, inshallah, that we'll meet next week where the world is a much happier place. We can always pray for that, right? That our lives in the world is a happier place in a contest, and get cracking on the contest, everyone. We will be inshallah conducting our tall tales contest exactly 1 week from now. I know the time seems a little short, but I've considered this. If we delay it by 1 more week, the status will be the same. You guys will start preparing 3 days before the contest. So start preparing right now, everyone. And see you all next week. Goodbye and Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.